Almost every measurable statistic from helium is improving at its fastest pace ever, yet the HNT price continues to move lower, with what likely started as considerable profit taking at levels approaching $10 is now turning into a broader market-based sell-off. Helium is stronger than ever, and the deep-in space is starting to get the recognition it deserves as we head into this next bull market. I believe this is one of the largest divergences between market price and protocol value in all of crypto right now, and I am taking full advantage. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the Crypto Compound channel. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I hope you guys are having a great day. Please hit that like and subscribe. On the way in today, we're going to be taking a look at basically every measurable metric of helium before we dive into this chart and really start to look at what we have to look forward to in the coming weeks after we have seen this pretty large multi-week sell-off here on the HNT chart as well as the mobile and IoT charts. Now, sell-offs of these nature are expected, especially considering the fact that we are following the broader markets here. But it's important to put in perspective how this price action is so different than what is actually being built and the progress that is being made inside of these networks, whether it be Helium Mobile, IoT, and of course the tokenomics and the price of HNT. We have already seen a very considerable drawdown here, almost 50% from the highs a few weeks ago, approaching the $10 level. So this becomes a very, very good time to start dollar cost averaging if you do believe that helium is here to ultimately reign as the king of deep-in throughout this bull market. And to my surprise, we are now beginning to, we were below the $5 level, in fact, earlier today. And we're going to take a look at what levels to keep an eye out here on the chart, as this is we are approaching a very critical point here on the chart, which would be this local bottom here. But guys, first, let's take a look at what's going on with helium in general. We can see we are at the 75 ranked spot here. We have lost and underperformed over the past week or so on the charts. Very surprising to me, to be honest. So we have lost a few spots here. And now, guys, if we take a look at some of the things that we can actually measure that are taking place with helium, we can see here that Amir a few days ago posted this. He said, do you know that all Helium Mobile subscribers are now on-chain Solana NFTs? Now, of course, he's asking that question, but he's obviously highlighting the insane growth here of the Helium Mobile subscribers. And thanks to Rawman, there is a Dune Helium Mobile dashboard that we could take a look at, and we can see that today there are 34,424 total Helium Mobile NFTs, and there are some other metrics here that are also very useful. Obviously, all of these are increasing in percentage over 24 hours, 7 days, and 30 days, which is all very good here for Helium Mobile. Here is the chart that Amir was referencing, and down below we can see some unique payments and some bill prepayments here for Helium Mobile, also all looking very good. Now, with respect to Helium, we can also see that HNT is now trading live on Backpack Exchange as of January 1st. This is very important for the liquidity and the exposure of HNT, considering that we have still not yet even been back onboarded to Binance, which is very surprising. I would expect that to eventually happen. There has been no word or rumblings about that. I would expect to be back on Binance in the coming weeks or months, which of course will ultimately be good for liquidity, exposure, and ultimately, I believe, price action. Now, Helium Mobile was also highlighted here in light reading on January 4th. They touched on almost every measurable mark you can with regards to customers, with regards to they even highlighted the mobile price down here, which is very interesting to see them going that deep into the weeds here. But this is a great article, highlights all of the big things that Helium Mobile is doing and how they are impacting the industry. They highlight a few smaller competitors that are starting to poke their heads out into the deep pin space over the past few months and years. All really good stuff and great exposure here for Helium. And guys, even separate from Helium, there's also just the greater DPIN space, which is starting to gain a lot of recognition. We can see Kyle here from Multicoin Capital saying, working on my 2024 predictions right now, Helium and Hive Mapper will be two of the leading torchbearers of the industry by end of year 2024. I would absolutely agree with him here. Of course, he is heavily biased and heavily invested in these two things, but I do believe he will ultimately be right. Of course, Hive Mapper is another Solana-based DPIN, which aims at utilizing and monetizing a dash cam attached to your car and getting paid to drive. There is I do have a Comp10 10% discount code that you could use at checkout. If you apply Comp10 into the discount code, you will get 10% off, and I would really, really appreciate it. It does support the channel directly. But Hive Mapper is another incredible project that we will touch on in future videos. We've touched on it in the past, and we'll make sure to update you guys moving forward. But the main point here is that DPIN is really taking off. We can see here Mazari Capital highlighting the entire DPIN space. They've been doing a lot of deep dive research into the entire space, which highlights a lot of these different projects. You can see they have they have about 650 active projects, 20 billion in market cap, $15 million in on-chain ARR. Really awesome stuff. They do really, really great research, and they really do highlight the utility and monetization of DPIN very well. Really good for the entire space. And of course, Helium is sort of the golden child in my eyes of DPIN, sort of the OG, and I do believe will end up being one of the most successful throughout this bull run. And lastly, of course, we can see the network stats here for Helium Mobile are just unbelievable, right? Ever since December 20th, which ironically, if we look at the HNT price chart, this right here is December 20th. So the local high of this wick, this was December 20th. This red candle was December 20th. And if we look at the Explorer, we can see that December 20th was like really the beginning of this takeoff in mobile and a little bit of IoT usage as well, which is really ironic and also quite hilarious, considering it appears that no one really is paying attention to what's going on here with Helium. But the fact that you guys are watching this video, you're here, you know Helium exists, and you know that these data points exist, gives you an edge to everyone else who is probably going to start finding out about this stuff in the coming weeks and months. But guys, this is an undoubtable data usage here for Helium Mobile that should not be ignored. And me personally, I am beginning to really heavily DCA into HNT right now, as well as mobile and Honey Token. But I think that this is one of the most unique opportunities in terms of pullback and timing here in crypto ahead of not only the ETF approval, but just the broader crypto bull market that is imminently ahead of us, whether it's next week, next month, or towards the end of the year. But it is ahead of us, I believe. So I am really starting to position myself in a way where I believe that we have exited the accumulation phase and we are now entering what I believe to be a long-term uptrend. I do believe that we will end up forming a higher local low above this $4.20 level. That is really all that matters here right now with this HNT daily chart. We need to form a low that is higher than this one. And if we look right now, we have been trying to catch this on the way down. I thought it might have been right here a few days ago, but it turns out it is not. What it looks like it might end up happening, it looks like we might get a bottom around this area. Right now, of course, this daily candle is open and we have wick below it, but the daily closes are really what we're looking at here. If we can close above this level here, about the $5.20 level, this could be the very beginning of the next higher local low on the daily chart, which is remarkable. And guys, I do want to highlight this. I want to zoom all the way out, and I think I have done this exercise in a previous video, but if I have not, it is really important, because if we go from this previous all-time high to the swing low all the way in the bear market, we can see the fib charts and the fib levels. And the first target on the fib chart is the 382, which is at $23.20. This is how early we are in terms of a price recovery and an ultimately new all-time highs here for Helium. I mean, we're not even halfway to the 382 Fibonacci retracement level. Absolutely mind-blowing stuff. It is still super, super early here for Helium. And with all of this data to support increase in protocol value, it is so hard to deny that helium is not going to seriously outperform over the next few weeks and months. But that's what we're looking at here on the daily. We're looking to form a higher low. Ideally, hopefully, I would love for it to be right here and for us to go and try and retake a higher high here, which would be really awesome. If we take a look now at the weekly, we can see that we closed just above this support resistance inflection point here, right there. This weekly candle, we would really want to see green. That is going to be very important this week. Of course, we have a lot more time left, but seeing a green weekly candle here is very important. Having 3 falling red weekly candles here would be really unfavorable for future price action for helium. So that is very important to keep note of here on this weekly chart. And guys, if we look over here at mobile, we can see that it has been getting beaten up just as much as the other coins, not only helium, but other coins in the crypto space. We can see that it is really close to the low of this entire downtrend. Huge opportunity here, in my opinion, for mobile. We know that HIP 96 was implemented today, so there is going to be a little bit of supply side mobile burn happening now, which is good for the mobile tokenomics. But ultimately, when the bull run does start, I don't think people are going to look that closely at tokenomics and stuff like this. They're going to see that there's a mobile data plan that is being used and growing. They're going to see that it has a token, and they're going to just hit market buy on this thing. I really think that's what the majority of retail crypto buyers and market participants will end up doing, just because it is a direct token for the mobile network, regardless of any tokenomics or anything like that. That's really just the nature of how things work. And of course, HNT will benefit from that as well, but mobile certainly will. We can't expect people to completely avoid mobile going into the future. But guys, this is what I'm seeing here on the charts right now. Let me know what you guys think, what you see, if you're hopeful, if you're doubtful. Of course, guys, there is no definite right answer here. This is all speculation. At the end of the day, the crypto markets, which go higher than you expect and they go lower than you expect. But let me know what you guys think, how you're feeling. Like I mentioned, of course, this is not financial advice, but I am starting to add to my position, dollar cost average down, really anything below like the $8 level or likely just the $10 level. Going into this bull market. And ultimately, guys, I really think helium is going to end up being a top 20 coin by market cap this cycle. So let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Please hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. But just like that, this video is over, and I will see you next time.